It's early in the morning, Sean, but I'm feeling a little bit of classic rock and roll this morning, my friend.
Oh, yeah? What you got?
Yeah, because I'm back in black.
There you go, AC/DC.
Yes, indeed, baby. But I'm back in the black, back in the positive column after yesterday with the Yankees coming through for me in, what's his name, Gardner? I forget his first name. Hitting a nice little 2-out hit for me to bring them home in extra innings against Seattle. You know, maybe my tide is turning against those Mariners because it's 2 in a row that the Mariners look like they might beat the Yankees, and then the Yankees battled back to take the W for me and put a little bit of money in my DraftKings account. Ching, thank you. And then, of course, we had the Cincinnati with the run line. I don't know. That game was a smoke show from them. I mean, not a smoke show. That has a whole different meaning nowadays.
That's the way you want to win every bet. I mean, those are the games where like, why can't it be this easy all the time?
Yeah, I mean, if it were that easy all the time, we'd be building the castles in the sand like the folks in Vegas. But yeah, I was pretty pumped up about that. Of course, my parlay didn't come in, but you know that's why I only put a few dollars on those things because the odds are of them hitting 4 in a row. You know, that means I would have had to go 6-0 yesterday, and then that would have made me 4, 5, 6-0. I would have to hit 10 straight games to hit that second one, which is it's asking a little bit too much.
Yeah, I ended up going 2-2. I was good with the 2 team bets, and over and unders, like you say, not to play, got me both times.
Colorado over you.
Yeah.
I think someone joked about that yesterday.
Tampa Bay did the same thing.
Mm-hmm. They just light up the scoreboard, baby. Like Colorado, maybe they're going to light up the scoreboard again today. Who knows? It should be another fun day of baseball. I got a full card, got a full, not a whole roster of MLS games, but we got enough MLS games. I found one in the mix today. Hopefully I can get back in the good graces of MLS players today if my one game can come through. But let's go ahead and get started with baseball. It's early in the morning, so some of the data is at this point, I would say, incomplete. But we'll work with what we have. MLB Baseball. Game number 1 is Seattle and the New York Yankees. Do I go back to the Yankees today, or maybe you're going to jump on that train?
No, I'm actually gonna go Seattle here. We've talked about them being they're as good of an underdog as the Yankees are a favorite, basically. And I know the Yankees have won a couple in a row, but the pitching matchup here, Yankees acquired Andrew Heaney. He's not been pitching that well. Chris Flexen's been good all year, kind of slumping a little bit.
He's been
lately.
flexing,
yeah. But also a stat that caught my attention: Yankees don't do good during day games. They're 14-24 during the day.
Are they a young team that goes and parties at night?
It's possible. And I mean, Seattle during the day is they're 21-16. So there's a big disadvantage there. The pitching.
We got to remember though, for Seattle, it's like if they're starting this game at 1:05,
it's like 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. So they might still be sleepy eyed too. They're still getting the sand out of their eyes.
But it's also, they've been in the East Coast now for 3 or 4 days. So should be able to adjust. So I'm going to.
But there's a lot of temptations in New York for a young man on a Friday night, let me tell you.
Yeah. But I saw the line go up to plus 165. I think it's a juicy line to take a shot here.
So you're going to take that shot then?
Yep.
All right. Well, you can get plus 173. As I mentioned, the Yankees are kind of rolling right now. Since the break, they've played very well. I took money out of this series 2 out of 3, 2 games in a row now. So I'm not going to be in this. But the Yankees have the power ranking advantage and the run line advantage. It's just today, Vegas is asking you to pay too much today. But I can get you my plus 173 on Seattle. So I don't really care if the Yankees lose today. I hope they lose today so that you can collect and work your way towards the black.
Yeah.
Next game is the home my town, the Chicago Crosstown Classic between the White Sox and the Cubs. Like I said yesterday, the White Sox always beat the Cubs. Even when the Cubs are good, the White Sox seem to be able to beat the Cubs. To me, the price is too steep for the White Sox, be it in a run line situation or a money line situation. And to boot, the Cubs actually have the run differential edge. So I can't bet the White Sox because it's too expensive, and I can't bet them because the Cubs actually score more runs per game at home than the White Sox do on the road.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one, and I don't think the Cubs do too bad against lefties neither, so you can't even go with that angle. I'll look at the stat here. Yeah, they're 17 and 14 versus lefties, so you can't even really go that angle neither. I mean, that was with a total different lineup, but it's too steep to pay.
Yeah, I agree with you. I can't pay that one either. We got one of these 7-inning doubleheaders today. We'll start with game 1, Boston versus Toronto.
Now, this one, I hate doing the doubleheaders, but Toronto's on that fringe, like minus 160, and I think they're going to roll here.
You can get minus 156.
Minus 156. So I'm going to take Toronto to win. They actually are really good during the day. Boston's average during the day. And Toronto's been lighting up the scoreboard, and Boston's been struggling. So I'll take the minus 157.
Yeah, Boston's definitely been struggling post to break. Well, this is one of the games I'm on too, Sean. So I think everybody should run like hell in the other direction, because if we both agree, it can't be good. It's
we don't play doubleheaders neither, so we must really like it to play it.
It's the Ghostbusters crossing the screens here. We're both going to blow up into marshmallow men. I'm on my way from COVID. Thank you. Another gift of COVID is the COVID-20. See, yeah, looking at this game, Pivetta, I have Robbie Ray as the pitching matchup against. He has the advantage in the advanced metrics, so I like that. And then Pivetta against Toronto is performed kind of – he's had his struggles. He's got a 6.82 ERA against them lifetime, and Toronto is one of the better home scoring teams. So I like the spot too. I feel like the advantage that Boston has in this series is their bullpen, and in these 7-inning games – Robbie Ray has the pitching advantage on Pivetta, so you're only going to get the best of Toronto's bullpen if they can have the lead after, say, the 5th inning. I'm with you. I'm taking Toronto minus 156. Is that what I said?
Either that or minus 157. 157.
Yeah, it looks like the line moved a little bit in my favor, so I'm getting minus 156. You get minus 157. It's a benefit of going second.
Okay. It's kind of intriguing to take them minus a 1.5 too, but that's tough in a 7-inning game.
Yeah, I mean, because plus, I mean, if you do it, you get rewarded for the lack of innings, for sure. If you look at that game, the first game minus 157. First game minus 1.5 runs, you're getting plus 127, 125. So if you have the courage to do it, 7-inning game, I've done it before a couple times. Okay on some, not okay on others. So I would rather just take the minus 157 here and just expect, hopefully, Toronto to win.
Yeah, exactly.
As far as the money is concerned in that particular spot, you and I are on Toronto, as is 60% of the tickets, but a full 80, almost 85 cents on the dollar so far. And it's early in the morning, so it's tough to say how many. These are the late night folks up in Vegas, apparently, who don't go to bed. But 83% of the money, because they have those oxygen machines in the casino, you can't get tired. I should put one in here on Saturdays because Sean wakes me up so early in the morning.
Yeah.
The next spot is Texas and Oakland. There really isn't a line right now, so we can make one up. But I think if I look, looks to me like Texas is plus 190, and you can get minus 235 if you want Oakland.
Yeah, too steep of a price to pay. And Cole Irvin hasn't really been pitching there for a while. He was pitching really good. Now he hasn't been pitching all that great. And, we saw last night some of the better teams lost. So this is way too steep.
Way too steep for you?
Yeah.
All right. Way too steep for me too. I can't do this spot at all. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next game is the New York Mets and your Philadelphia Phillies. You took the Phillies yesterday, right?
Yeah, and you remember when we did the futures bet, I said the Phillies were going to come back and win the division. Well, they just took first place over last night. So they're starting to roll a little bit, and the Mets are not doing all that great. And even, I've been big on this Tyler Megill. He's been pitching well. Well, now he's starting to, they're starting to get to him a little bit. So I'm going to do a 50-50 game basically again with the minus 110s. I'm going to go Philly money line here.
You're going to do the Philadelphia money line here?
Yeah, they're starting to roll.
Well, the Phillies are taking in about 60% of the tickets and about 60, almost 70 cents on the dollar. Yeah, I like the Phillies a little bit here too, except that you're getting Vegas is kind of asking you to bet on them today. because they're giving you a little bit of a discount in terms of their power ranking and run differential. I'm convinced they know the different techniques and algorithms and Excel sheets that accountants like me, I'm not an accountant, but someone said I had more Excel sheets than an accountant. Tom, I love Carly did. And I don't like when Vegas tells me I'm getting the better team and I don't have to pay for them full value. That tells me they want me to go ahead and bet Philadelphia. And when they tell me to bet Philadelphia, I don't want to bet the Mets, so I just stay away. Tampa Bay and Baltimore. Yes, your guy Watkins is on the mound.
Yeah, well, but he's starting to struggle. So I've been burned probably his last 2 starts at this point. So I'm not going to try to go against him neither here. And then you know how that happens when you start to reverse course. I'm just going to stay away from the game. And Tampa Bay is starting to really start to hit too. So I'd lean Tampa here, but I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah, like I said, I like to look to see in the line what Vegas is telling me from the line. And Vegas is making me pay way too much for Tampa. I'm not getting enough value to bet them. So Vegas is pretty convinced that Tampa is going to win this spot. They have them winning this game 68% of the time. But realistically, it's probably only about 66% of the time. But as you can see, there's a discount there. So whenever you get that discount, I'm, again, a little bit worried because I feel like they're begging me to take well, not begging me. They're enticing me to take Tampa, but I can't do it at minus 200. And I think the looking at the run line in this spot too, if you're giving up a run and a half, it's minus 140. I don't even I don't know, what is that?
Yeah, that's you better have one hell of a disadvantage, and I don't know if you have it here for that.
Minus 140. I can never do that.
Yeah.
Boston and Toronto. Looks like this is the second side of the doubleheader. And in this case, you're getting plus 120 on Boston and minus 140. Usually the team that wins the first one loses the second one, and definitely Tyler Houck is the better of the 2 pitchers by a long shot in game number 2.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch it. Like I said, Toronto's been rolling, but like you said, Tanner Houck is definitely the better pitcher.
Tanner Houck, yes. I don't know. I call him Tyler. It's too early in the morning. My synopsis aren't firing yet.
So I'm not going to try my luck at 2 doubleheaders today. So I'm passing on this one.
Well, San Francisco, Milwaukee. We got the pitching matchup we expected yesterday, the duel. Milwaukee did get the win late. Today, there's no line here yet, but looking at some other resources. Hold on a second.
I see minus
a little funny.
DraftKings, I see minus 150 for the Brewers and giving up a run and a half plus 130.
Yeah, so that's are you on San Francisco plus 130?
No, I don't want to try to beat Brandon Woodruff. He should be able to shut down the Giants lineup pretty good. I was almost, looking at the under, but then I didn't really trust Aaron Sanchez for San Fran. Plus, they just had that low-scoring game yesterday. Sometimes, they hash back out and start scoring runs. So this is a total pass for me, and I feel confident anyway.
Yeah, I don't feel confident in this spot either. When you look at this particular line right now, the Brewers, there's no money on this game yet, but when I look at the metrics of this spot, Milwaukee does have the run line, the power line, power ranking. I don't want to say power line. I'm telling you, it's early in the morning. My gray matter is not on fire yet. They have the power ranking advantage, but actually San Francisco does a little bit better job scoring runs on the road than Milwaukee does as plating people at home. So that difference means I can't pick either side of this game, no matter what kind of value I get. And looking at the numbers, Vegas is really making you pay up for what little bit Milwaukee can produce at home. I can't pay that high for Milwaukee. So again, trying to read between the lines, quite literally, it looks like Vegas expects Milwaukee to win in this spot again. I am not going to take it though. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Is it going to be that easy again?
I'm thinking it might be. What do we have here as far as giving up a run and a half?
The run and a half is a plus 100 again. I'm kind of surprised, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so then I'm going to take Cincinnati giving up a run and a half because that line seems to be moving too. I don't know where you're getting plus 100, which book? Because
I got it. I already booked it in my account at DraftKings.
Okay, because now that line's moved to minus 115.
Minus 115, I don't see that on here. I see minus 105, minus 105, minus 103, and still plus 100. So
It must have not updated. It just updated on mine. But I'll take the plus 100 if that's what we're getting with Cincinnati.
That's what we're getting, Sean. Those are the rules, my friend.
Yeah, I will take it. They have the advantage in the pitching matchup again, and
well, it's not as big as you think, but they do have the pitching advantage.
Yeah, and their offense.
But they don't have that bullpen advantage, man. It gets scary when those guys.
Yeah, but Gutierrez has been pretty solid, so hopefully he can give them at least 6 good innings. And
I want him to give him more than 6. You want 3 from that bullpen?
Well,
I don't want 3.
Hey, if they can go up, 7-1,
17, 18-0, we might have a chance.
Yeah.
Looking at this spot, I agree with you. If Vegas is going to keep giving me a plus line on the Cincinnati team in the run line here, especially when you look at this pitcher for Keller for Pittsburgh, he's got a 9.37 ERA versus Cincinnati just overall. And at what is it called? The Great American Ballpark. He has 11.57 ERA. Cincinnati has smoked this dude. I feel like they're going to smoke him again today. Plus 100. I don't know. Maybe it's a gift. Maybe it's one of the, and maybe I just jinxed this by using the G word. But I feel like, like I said, if Vegas is going to give, I am going to take. I'm convinced that they give you like one game of the day somewhere in their lines. You just have to find it. And if you can find it, then you can do well. I almost feel like that's it. So I just absolutely 100% jinxed us, and that you can count on Pittsburgh. This will be the one game that they pull out of the mix today.
Yeah, maybe I jinxed you because now you've given me.
That's twice you've picked with me.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, maybe I'll sprinkle some luck on us. And then looking at the numbers in this game right now, about 80% of the tickets are on the Reds, but only 70% of the money. So a little bit of smart money is dabbling on Pittsburgh. Maybe they feel like the Pirates can win 1 out of 3 against the Reds. Next spot, Detroit and Cleveland. Yesterday I said Cleveland was on my radar as a team, but there were a couple things I didn't like about that game. Whatever it is I didn't like, I was wrong. I should have played Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland's offense is starting to, start putting up runs, and that's what they need to do. They got some pitching there. They can keep the low-scoring game, but they weren't scoring too much. Now they're starting to score. The only hesitation here, and the only reason I'm not going to pull the trigger, is Eli Morgan's going for Cleveland, and he gives up a bunch of runs too. So I'm going to stay away. Plus, they're, I think, 21-22, I think I just saw, versus lefties. So they're a 500 team versus lefties.
Well, Detroit's not that good on the road. They're not very good against teams that are close to 500.
I would say
there's a lot of reasons why I would take Cleveland, but again, when I looked at that pitching matchup, I think the Detroit team had a little bit of a slight edge on the advanced metrics, so I stayed away from it because I did like some other things. I mean, I'm already 2 bets in. Usually I'm only doing 2, but I have 1 more to go.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I got 4 bets already, so I'm not going to make that the 5th.
Minnesota, Houston. Can Minnesota go to Houston and win 3 in a row? I don't know how many times Minnesota's won 3 in a row all year.
I don't know, but they are starting to turn it around a little bit. So I don't know what the difference has been, but I'm going to stay away from this game because it does seem like Minnesota's matching up very well versus Houston.
Yeah, and well, they were part of my minus 200 parlay yesterday. No minus 200 parlays today because I have 3 plays. But again, I can't take the spot because Houston's too expensive and they're not playing that well right now, and Minnesota's playing better. So if you want to go ahead and take Houston minus 200 because you feel like there's no way on the planet Minnesota can win 3 in a row, well, you're probably right. Unfortunately, I can't back that. Kansas City and St. Louis. This is another game that I looked at, but I kind of stayed off the St. Louis spot here.
Yeah, this is one. Let's see the odds here. Where are we at? Moneyline minus 160. So that's right on the fringe. I like St. Louis here. They just got to win the game. They got the pitching matchup. They've been starting to turn it around a little bit. Kansas City's going the other way, and Brad Keller always gives up runs. So I'll go St. Louis. I had minus 160.
So St. Louis right now, you can get them for minus 168 is the best price I can get you, Sean. I'm sorry.
So that's right outside the fringe.
Give it, then I take it. Well, I mean, minus 1. Yeah, you're talking about a penny, so you can. That's a rule that's breakable, I guess. Sort of. Yeah. I looked at this game. It was one that I wanted to take. Maybe if the number keeps coming down, I can take St. Louis, but it has to come down a little bit more for me in order to make this spot happen. Then the next game is Washington and Atlanta. The old man 5-inning Morton is minus 240. Again, no value.
Yeah, no, and I try to avoid Braves games, and I'm definitely not taking them as a negative run line, and minus 240. That's way too steep.
And what's crazy about this game, too, is that the tickets are slightly favoring the Braves, but the money this early in the morning, granted, is slightly favoring Washington, the baseball team from Washington. I'm saying they're going to change their name soon, too. Again, too much of a price to pay to take an old man who's going to be out after 5 innings, though. Atlanta probably pounds them. Miami and Colorado. This is the lefty-lefty matchup out on the Mile High Stadium there. Colorado Rocky. Well, I don't think they play in Mile High Stadium, but the ball – I told you they were going to have humidor balls yesterday. The humidor balls are going to be back out today, Sean?
They might be. I mean, Colorado's offense is starting to roll here. This is one I find giving up a run and a half intriguing.
Well, if you wanted to do that, Colorado minus 1.5 is plus 117 I can get you. So you get a pretty good line there. It's actually coming down a little bit because it opened up at 123. So it looks like some of the money early in this morning is on that Rockies team scoring more than 1.5 than Miami does.
Yeah, so I will take Colorado, giving up the run and a half. They're at home. They're the favorite. We've talked about that all year. Miami's not doing much lately. Colorado's got the advantage in the pitching matchup here. I will take Colorado, giving up the run and a half.
I don't know what's going on today, Sean, but we're either going to have a great day or a horrible day. I'm not quite sure.
Well, let's not repeat last Saturday. This is our revenge for last Saturday.
No, it better be, because last Saturday was god-awful. No wonder. Anyway, I agree with you. This Gomber is a better pitcher than Luzardo, especially versus the home and away splits. Luzardo on the road has got almost an 8 ERA versus the Rockies, both at home and away. So just overall in his career, he's got almost an 8 ERA. But when he pitches in Colorado, that ERA goes up to 9, just like everybody else's ERA. Colorado is the number one team, el número uno, in terms of scoring runs at home. And Miami is number 23 on the road. So it was only 6 teams or 7 teams that are worse than Miami at producing runs on the road. So when you look at this game, you're getting and also, like I've mentioned the last 2 games, Colorado doesn't get the fortune of playing teams under 500 very often because of the division that they're in. And when they do catch a squad that's under 500, they make sure that they beat them. So I'm with you, Sean. I'm doing Colorado. I'm taking plus 117. That's the number we can get for giving up a run and a half. Let's go Rockies. Let's do like Cincinnati. Let's do like you did yesterday. Let's put a little bit of whooping on some Miami fish.
Yeah, it would definitely be nice to have a day like that. All our teams whoop up.
Yeah, what was going on with San Diego's pitching? My Lord. They made all those trades at the deadline. They should have got some pitchers.
Yeah, they were up 4-0, then all of a sudden, I don't know what was it.
They had like an 8-inning run, Arizona. Or
yeah, the fourth inning or whatever.
They batted around. I noticed they batted around, maybe even more than batted around, without an out.
Yeah, it was crazy long inning, and I had a parlay similar to yours that I then went with late last night. The only difference was I took I added Cincinnati and took Houston out, but it was looking okay until that inning with San Diego, and the Dodgers lost anyway. But I mean, that inning took forever, and I've never seen Arizona's bats look that good. Just hit after hit after hit, crazy. So I couldn't go, and Yu Darvish is starting to give up runs too.
Yeah, maybe the teams maybe he's tipping his pitches again.
Yeah, so for the steep price, I would not touch this one.
Yeah, I'm not even putting them in my minus 200 parlay. Like I said, I don't have a parlay today because I have 3 teams. Well, maybe we'll take a quick look, Sean, and the 3 that we agree. If you parlay them together, that's got to be nice because we got a Cincinnati plus 100 run line. We got a plus 117 run line from San Diego. And then the other game we agreed on was Toronto, which is like minus 167. If we put those 3 together, what does that work out to be?
I'll do that one.
In the meantime, we got the LA Dodgers and the LA Angels. the Battle of Los Angeles, and we're not talking Bloods and Crips. Again, too big of a line right here to go ahead and pay. Minus 290, minus 280, and then a negative run line as well. As far as the money is concerned, as you can imagine, it's backing the Dodgers. 76 cents on every dollar so far is on the Dodgers, and all of the metrics favor the Dodgers as well, especially since they blew it yesterday. But they have a huge run differential advantage against the LA Angels at home. But, man, are they making you pay through the nose for the Dodgers. No chance on the planet I'd be willing to pay that much.
No, and, I mean, the Angels are kind of interesting here, but what are the odds they're going to win 2 in a row? And you're going up against Arias, who usually wins, even if he does give up runs. So I couldn't touch it.
Yeah, I'm not on that game either. Did you get a chance to take a look at that parlay?
Yes, I did. Now, the odds may be a slightly different on DraftKings, but I am getting plus 598 for those 3 teams.
Plus 598. Ooh, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's great. I mean,
it's tempting.
Yeah.
But there's no way in the world you and I could be right on all 3, so I'll stay away. I'm itchy right now. I'm telling you, I'm really itchy, but I can't do it. All right, folks, now we're going to move on to Sean's favorite sport in the planet. It's soccer. Did you get a chance to look at any MLS stuff here, Sean?
I did not.
You did not.
I will glance at it while you go into it here.
All right, I have one right here for us. It's the Battle of Texas. Apparently, there's a lot of interstate battles today. You got the Angels and the Dodgers, the Cubs and the you got the Cubs and the White Sox. Living in Chicago, it's that other team in Chicago. I forget the White Sox, but they're the better team right now, hands down. Cubs have a triple A's, but maybe they're double. I wonder if they did play the Iowa Cubs versus the Chicago Cubs, which would actually win. Anyhow, in Texas, the Austin Football Club, which is an expansion team, heads off to Dallas, which plays like an expansion team. But I'm going to take the Dallas Burn. I think that's their name. They are plus, I can get plus 125. So I'm going to take plus 125 on the Dallas Burn. Looking at FC Dallas, they've scored in seven straight home games, averaging 2 goals per game. And the Austin Football Club has averaged, they've scored 1 goal in their last 5 games on the road. So I feel like this is a game that Dallas can win. I'm getting the pretty nice plus line to take them. I know there's always the stupid soccer draw, so be careful of that. But just based upon the goal production, I don't feel like this is going to be a draw. It'll probably be a high-scoring game, and Dallas, hopefully, in a high-scoring game, scores just 1 more goal than Austin before the clock runs out. Otherwise, if they go, MLS actually ties. There's no penalties or anything like that, which is just ridiculous. They should play till there's a winner.
Yeah, exactly. There is a lot of juicy lines for a draw tonight. There's got to be a draw.
There are some. If you hold on one second, I'll tell you which games have the best chance of ending in a tie. It's just going to take me a second to open up one of those Excel sheets.
I know we did those golf bets while you're doing the golf bets. Abraham Answers playing really well. Pitching really well.
There's only 67 guys in the tournament, so not that many. So Salt Lake and Portland, according to my statistics, has a 28% chance to tie. I don't know what that is in terms of the payout. Let's see. Which game is that? Realize Salt Lake. So the draw is plus 280. Let's see. Another high one is Houston Dynamo versus Minnesota United. That draw is plus 311. Oh my God, that's a pretty big one. Yeah. And then those are the 2 highest ones in here. The next closest one, but I don't think so because Toronto Football Club is not playing that well. So, but those are the 2 highest lines in terms of, highest percentages according to my simulations that those games could tie. So it'd be interesting if one of them ends up tying. I'll be regretful for not taking it.
Yeah, I almost feel like, you're at like 230 to 3 something. You could almost take 3. Put $10 on 3 different games to draw, and you'd break even if 1 did, and you'd make some money as long as 2 did. And like what this was last week, or earlier,
the other day, I picked 3 that time.
Yeah, you picked 3, so it would be real juicy to get that. So,
Well, unfortunately, I'm not picking any draws today. I'm not doing any parlays. I'm just going to go ahead and stick with my FC Dallas to go ahead and win in the Battle of Texas Soccer. Well, pretty soon they'll have the Battle of Texas football, and well, the Houston team may not be that good.
No,
especially if Deshaun gets sidelined. All right, Sean. Well, that wraps up our show today. Real quick, we agree on 3. Toronto in the first game, and the run lines in both the Cincinnati Reds versus the Pirates game and Colorado against Miami. There's one more game Sean has. I forget what it is because it's too early in the morning for me to think.
I have 3 more. I have
3 Seattle, more. Oh my Lord, you're going out your mind today, son.
Seattle plus 173 against the Yankees. St. Louis Moneyline minus 168 against Kansas City. And then the Phillies minus 110 against the Mets.
Man, you just woke up this morning and you're like, I'm playing everything.
Hey, you know what? I like these games, and I got some making up to do here.
Maybe next week what we can do is like we'll have official bets but not have official bets, because sometimes I feel like the bets I don't make are the ones I should have made. So maybe next week what we'll do is we'll have like a just for the week-long like challenge where we'll do every single game. You don't have to put money on it, but we'll just keep track of every single game and see how we would have done. I don't know. That seems like too much work to me anyway. All right, Sean. Well, a little bit later on today, our sponsor is going to host a contest for Saratoga horse racing at horseracingradar.com. Head on over there. Sign up for the contest. It's free. You'll see in the menu, handicapping contest. Just click on that. You'll have a live contest. Click on that, and you'll get to see me again. I'll be highlighting and talking about and analyzing every single race about 10 minutes before post, providing some track bias information, which horses are the fastest out of the gate, which ones come hardest late, why some of them will win, or what, the reasons why some might win and some might not win, and then go ahead and make my picks. Again, that's free. Sean, if folks want to follow us and make sure they don't miss a show, especially when we agree on 3, where do they do that?
Facebook and Twitter, Moneyline Madmen. And I'll say on those races too, even people that haven't watched, there's some big name horses. So if you watch the, big races, there's some big name races in the 8, 9 races, 8, 9, and 10 today. So there is. I don't want to hurt my shoulder right here, patting myself on the back, but I do get some comments from folks while I'm doing it, and a lot of people say this is the most information that they get in horse racing anywhere from what I bring to the table in terms of the information that I share looking at the races. Every weekend someone says, I can't believe this is free. In any case, and they're not talking about the contest. They're actually talking about the analysis, but it doesn't necessarily always mean you're going to pick a winner, because horse racing is horse racing, right? You have little people on big animals, and you just don't know what's going to happen sometimes. All right. It's the same as this show. Take what you like. We'll give you the information and we'll put it out there. You take from it what you want to take from it and bet from there.
Yeah, don't want to be perfect. Just need to be prepared. Try to stay above water. And we were in this a little bit more than a month. And like I said, I started the morning with I'm back in black. So hopefully I can go a little bit deeper into the black today and get on a nice little run, because Sean and I agree on 3. Sean and I will be back on Monday at 4:30 Eastern time. We're going to get a little bit of rest tomorrow until we catch up again, folks, on Monday. As always, may all of your bets be winners.